I looked over my shoulder at him. And, by the way, if that box actually does have an occupant, they'll hear me scream over at the shop. Liam snatched the foam football from the floor. "I'm ready to protect you," he said, a grin pulling at the corners of his mouth. "Good to know that if there's a zombie inside, you'll bean him with a perfect spiral," I said dryly. He traced a finger down the outside of his left arm. "Note the perfect right angle, which is what will enable me to throw that perfect spiral, should it become necessary, baby sister." Liam, who was technically my stepbrother, was a month older and never let me forget it. I laughed and shook my head. He was such a smartass. Then I hooked my fingers under the thin edge of the lid, blew out a breath, and lifted. Elvis craned his neck to see. We exchanged a look. "So?" Liam couldn't see the inside of the casket from where he was standing. "Well, I wasn't expecting this," I said. The cat murped his agreement, whiskers twitching. "Expecting what?" Liam asked impatiently. I glanced over my shoulder at him again. He looked at me with one raised eyebrow. "I was only kidding before about someone actually being—" He stopped for a moment. "There isn't, is there?" "It's full of tea," I said. "Tea?" His eyes darted from side to side, and a frown knotted his forehead. "Uh-huh," I said. "Boxes of tea, lots of them. And 2, maybe 3 Pendleton blankets." I ran my hand over the soft cream-colored wool with the traditional green, red, yellow, and black stripes at the border. We shouldn't have any problem selling these in the shop. My business, Second Chance, was a cross between a vintage store and a second-hand shop. We sold everything from furniture to dishes to guitars, mostly things from the 50s through the 70s. Some of our stock had been repurposed from its original use, a side table made from an old library card catalog cabinet, or a lawyer's bookcase turned nightstand, but much of it just needed someone to appreciate its beauty. The store was located in an old red brick house from the late 1800s at the edge of downtown North Harbor, Maine. We were maybe a 15 to 20-minute walk from the harbor front and not far from the off-ramp for the highway, which meant we were easy for tourists to get to. As a kid, I'd spent my summers in North Harbor with my grandmother, my dad's mom. It was where my father had grown up. Eventually, I'd bought a house that I'd renovated and rented. For several years, I was the host of a late-night syndicated radio show that featured classic rock music. When the media company that owned my station and 7 others changed hands, I was replaced by a music feed from California and a 19-year-old with a tan and ombre hair who gave the temperature every hour. I'd landed on Graham's doorstep at the urging of my mom to try to figure out what I wanted to do next. I'd ended up staying in North Harbor and opening Second Chance. I picked up one of the boxes of tea and checked the label for the best before date. "Hey, this is good for another 6 months." "You're not really going to drink that stuff, are you?" Liam asked. "Sarah, what brand of tea is it?" Charlotte called. "Red Rose," I said. "Proper tea bags?" Charlotte took her tea very seriously. "As far as I can tell." "And how many tea bags are there in the box?" I turned it over in my hands. 72. I looked at the other boxes packed carefully in the wooden casket. There must be a dozen boxes here at least. Charlotte appeared then behind Liam. She was wearing a chambray shirt with the sleeves rolled up. She reminded me of actress Helen Mirren. She was tall with lovely posture and white hair cut in a sleek, chin-length bob. "And a red box?" she said, beaming at me. "Splendid." "Why does the color of the box matter?" Liam asked, a look of puzzlement on his face. "Because it tells me that it's Canadian red rose tea," Charlotte said. I nodded because I knew what she meant. Liam didn't. He frowned. "And the nationality of the tea is important because—" "Because it's orange pekoe, which is Rose's favorite," I said. Rose Jackson was another of my grandmother's longtime friends, a tiny dynamo and sensible shoes. She also worked for me part-time. She swore the Canadian version of red rose tea made a very different cup from the tea the company sold here. Any time we went across the